Let me tell you quickly about a call I received this week, and I know a whole bunch of you watching this show can relate to. This gentleman called me, said he's having a hard time buying, and he's looking for my help. So we get to talking, and I'm trying to find out some details. I ask a bunch of questions, and I find out that he's been looking to buy since the beginning of spring, so 5-6 months now he's been looking to buy. He's put offers on 5 different properties, and so far that story is not new. It's not unique to him. But then I found out those 5 different properties that he's put offers on, that he's missed out on, were from 5 different agents. And I thought, well, how is that? And he says, oh, he doesn't want to be tied into he doesn't want to be tied into one particular realtor. He each time sees a property that he likes, then he calls a realtor to show it to him, and if he likes it, that's the realtor he uses to put in an offer. But then it's a different realtor every time. I didn't see or understand the logic there. So, I can tell you from personal experience, from the listings that we've sold this year. I'm not talking about listings we've sold 8 years ago, but just this year, listings we sold. And almost all of them have been on multiple offer situations. The agents that have the winning bid, I am asking them about their clients, because I want to, make sure about financing issues and so forth. So I am asking them about their clients that are buying the house. And these agents are able to articulate to me things about their clients that is only something that if you have a relationship with, that makes sense. So I can tell you that's from personal experience. But even just thinking about it logically, if you're working with a realtor that you've been working with for a little while, you kind of have a sense of loyalty, not just you to the realtor, but the realtor to you. Like when you miss out on an offer, it hurts you as the buyer. You're like, oh man, I wish we would have had the winning bid for that house. We really liked it. But the realtor that's been working with you, that's missed out on a few offers with you, on a way to a showing, you share a coffee together, or you talk about, your wants, your needs, way beyond, I want a 4-bedroom detached with a 2-car garage, way beyond the data, but just that emotional connection from spending time together. That's the realtor that also feels it in their gut, feels hurt that they didn't get that home for you. And not hurt because of the commission, but because they knew that was a great house for you. That's the realtor that goes the extra mile to protect you in the offers. That's the realtor that does things beyond transactional and really wants to see you in that house. That's the realtor that you can call on a Sunday morning because there's a property that came up, or that's the realtor on a Friday night, date night is taking you to see a property because there's an opportunity there. That's the realtor that calls his other realtor colleagues, say, hey, I need this kind of house. Do you have anything coming up? That's the realtor that goes the extra mile for you. And we see it in other parts of our life. You could take your car to a different mechanic every day. But once you find the right mechanic, don't you just feel more comfortable bringing your car there because you know what to expect? And you walk in, the receptionist knows you, the mechanic knows you, they're used to your car. Like you just have a more sense of belonging, a sense of relationship. And that's the mechanic that goes a little bit the extra mile, goes a little bit beyond and really takes care of your car. That's the way I see it. So my advice would be, if you're bouncing around with different realtors, my advice would be don't. But when I say a relationship, I'm not talking about, oh, I got to pick my family and friends. They might not be the right realtor. Find a realtor that you really feel good about, that is a good, strong realtor, because there's lots of terrible realtors out there you shouldn't work with. Find a good realtor, develop that relationship, have them working for you, and you'll find you'll get better results that way. My name is Santo Sessa with Remax Premier. If you have any questions, want to talk at all about real estate, in the description below there's a link to my calendar. Book a time that's convenient for you and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Let's get into the numbers. Okay, so here we go. I have your home prices and insights for York Region for week ending October 16th. I'm going to start off with condos and then get into the detached properties for Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and Markham. Condos for all of York Region. We sold 62 condos last week for week ending October 13th. Now, 62, anything in the 60 has kind of been normal sort of over the last 2-3 months. Average sold price has come down a little bit though, where average sold price is now $632,000. And if you look at going back about 9 or 10 months, you can see that 632 is kind of at the bottom end of, you know, the average. Anywhere between 600 and high 6 is or probably 620 and the high 6 is been about the average for the year. So 632 is at the bottom end of where the yearly average has been so far. That puts us at 8% higher than last year's average sold price. Of the 62, which is incidentally, it's more than what we were selling last year at this time, 60% of those sold at list price or more. So it's a little bit more competitive than it's been for a while now, where we're sitting at between 40 and 52, 56%. 60% got a little bit more competitive. Listings are down a bit. We listed 83 and months of inventory is sitting at 0.9. Average days on market is 18. So that's the condo market for York Region. Average sold price 632. Months of inventory 0.9. Very tight. Not a lot of properties available for sale, and you are going to be competing on some of them. The detached market, I have Vaughan behind me here. Sales, not so much. We sold only 38 detached properties in all of Vaughan. 7 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price is just less than 1.7. Clocks in at $1,697,000. It's come down for a couple of weeks now in a row, and 1.7 is a little bit, it's more than what it was at the first half of the year, but is a little bit lower than what it's been since I guess August, where prices really started to go up in Vaughan. So it looks like it's coming down a bit, but a few more weeks, we really need to take a look at that. The average sold price of 1,697 puts us at 20% higher than last year's average sold price. So, still way ahead of last year's sales. 68% sold at list price or more. There's very few listings. Only 54 listings came out in all of Vaughan for detached properties last week, and the amount of listings has been coming down. And months of inventory is sitting at 1.0 with the average days on market being 9. So months of inventory is low, very competitive still. Most properties being put on the market are put out with an offer date, so the seller is expecting more than what they're asking. That seems to be the prevalent pricing strategy these days. Richmond Hill. Prices are crazy in Richmond Hill. Let's talk about the sales first. We sold 36, not a lot of detached properties being sold. 36 kind of seems to be the norm over the last 4 weeks. But look at this, 13 sold at list price or more. 13 out of 36, so, sorry, not at list price or more, I'm getting ahead of myself. 13 sold at $2 million or more. So 13 out of 36, 1/3 of all properties in Richmond Hill sold at $2 million or more. And, that's easy to understand why the average sold price is over $2 million, $2,051,000. That's high. We were sitting at 1.7, high 1.8s the first half of the year. Past July, we hit a 2.1 million. Then it dropped down to 1.9s, mid and high 1.9s. And then we said, okay, it's going to come down. And now we're back up to 2 million. prices are really up there when it comes to Richmond Hill. Well, that puts us at 41% higher than last year's average sold price. So that's a crazy week. We've had another 43% there, but you know, the 20 to 30, 35% kind of seems a bit normal to be ahead of last year's average sold price. Of the 36 that sold, which is a little bit more than what we sold last year at this time, 64% sold at list price or more, which helps to understand the percentage is a little bit lower just because you're talking, you know, over $2 million properties. You're talking a little bit more into the luxury space. Listings have come down a little bit, and the months of inventory is sitting at 1.4. Look at that. Months of inventory came down slightly from the previous week. Average sold price has gone up. It's been sitting at 1963, 1950 or so, and now it's up by 100,000 to 2,051,000. Markham, we sold 37, so not a lot of sales going on. And I can tell you, it's not because the buyers aren't there. It's because there's just not enough properties to buy. So we sold 37. 8 of those were at $2 million or more. And the average sold price climbed up from the previous week to $1,853,000. So we kind of step back and take a look. The first half of the year, we were sitting at high 1.6s to 1.7. The second half of the year, we're in the high 1.7s to 1.8s, where we hit 2 million at one time, but that's a little bit of a crazy week. So forget this up here, but 1.8.5, 1.8.5, high 1.7s, a little bit over 1.8. That seems to be the norm for the second half of the year so far for Markham. That puts us at 36% higher than last year's average sold price. Of the 37 that were sold, 76% sold at list price or more. So Markham is a bit more competitive than the other regions in York region. Not a lot of listings, only 62 were listed, and months of inventory is sitting at 1.1 with 18 as the average days on market. Here's a summary of the 3 cities for detached properties for week ending October 13th. You got Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and Markham. So sales, pretty similar across the board. Year over year percentage increases, you know, you're looking at 20, 40, 35%. Those are crazy numbers. So that list price or more, 68%, 64, 76. Markham is the most competitive area as far as purchasing goes. But, you know, you're looking at days on market, 9, 15, 18. You just got some crazy numbers here, and months of inventory extremely low, very competitive. It's a seller's market. Buying, it's so important you're working with a good realtor and you have the right strategies in place. Lots of realtors just put in offers and hope for the best. It's not a good strategy. You really need to strategize how you buy, how the offer's put together, to give yourself the advantage over other buyers. My name is Santo Sessa with Remax Premier. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, there's a calendar in the description below. Reach out to me. Have a great day.